Hello and welcome back to another episode of Lowdown.
On this episode, we give you a recap of the Grammys, we take you on a visit to Stagecoach Antiques, and get up close and personal with a competitive indoor color guard group. All this and more on this episode of Lowdown.
Hey guys, we're so excited to be back in the studio for another episode of Lowdown. I'm Riley.
And I'm Kelly. This is my second episode of hosting, which must mean I'm officially part of the team.
We had a long deliberation and we decided that you could stay. Congrats, you're officially on Lowdown.
Dreams really do come true, you guys. First up, Anthony crashed the rehearsal of a band named Dead End Job.
They're a punk rock band from Akron.
I looked into your eyes. We had a moment, dude. We're Dead End Job. This song is called Teenage Eulogy. We're a punk band from the Kent-Akron area. We've been a band total for about 4.5 years now, so...
And they've only been good for the last 11
That's
months.
true. After 3 or 4 years of playing around, we finally found a scene where people are really involved. Nobody wants to go to a show where the band is up on stage doing their thing and completely ignoring the audience, and the audience is just standing there ignoring them. You get out of your shows what you put into them.
He suffers from lead singer disorder. He has delusions of grandeur.
Okay, fine, cut that. You guys
If the world is going to end, it's going to happen when our album comes out sometime. Spring and summer.
Because it's fire!
Well, the biggest show that we ever played was the Tri-C Rock Off at the House of Blues in Cleveland. We were not good back then. We put on fun shows, I like to think, because we had a lot of energy and we had a good time while we were doing it, but we didn't like sound good. It was just something that we did for the sake of doing it, something to blow off steam. I think that my favorite shows were at a place called the former Backyards and Billiards. This kid was playing shows out of, so what it used to be was a store. His father owned a funeral home, as I understand it, and he used this place that he bought to store his extra caskets. And he let his son build a small stage in the corner and play shows there.
Right, so just about every weekend they push all of the coffins to the side. The biggest dead-end job that's out there. There are McDonald's managers and people living their entire lives in cubicles that are in a way better position than we are.
Getting close, bro. Group hug, come on. Come here, come here. Bring it in. You put my hood on your shoulder.
Wow, what a passionate group of guys.
This is one dead end job they won't be quitting anytime soon. Am I right?
Hopefully not. They're so talented. Hey, Riley, do you remember that movie Cadet Kelly, where Hilary Duff went to this military school and secretly learned how to spin a rifle for some reason?
Hands down, my favorite scene in Disney movie history. So of course, why do you ask?
I witnessed a real live version of that when I visited Collage Winter Guard, and let me tell you, it was 10 times better than that movie. Let's check it out.
Hey, I'm Hannah. I'm a second-year member of Collage Winter Guard. We started, I want to say, December-ish, maybe even earlier than that, and we're going until April. And that's our whole season. So for the first month, we're just practicing every single weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then We have competition normally Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sometimes even Wednesday through Sunday. They're different than other sports only because we're all so much nicer. It's not like we're competitive in the sense that we're mean to the other guards. We're all cheering each other on. Most of the time, other guards are cheering louder than just the people watching. It seems like it's easy when you're watching it because we make it seem so easy because we practice so often that it almost seems like we're just throwing stuff in the air and we can catch it completely fine, but it's a lot of muscle, it's a lot of work. You have to work out, you're using all the muscles in your body. It's a lot of work and you just have to come and try it.
We usually start out with basics, and usually I do a lot with that aspect, and then I work closely with Barry and the other instructors to kind of oversee the whole design process of our show. I think this year we have 8 to 9 local shows, and then we're doing one regional show in Pittsburgh, and then our world competition is at the end of the year in April, so and that's in Dayton, so we'll do that as well. And I think some people don't realize that it is a sport, and you have to be quite coordinated to be moving your feet, moving your arms, performing, watching everyone else around you, and I think that takes a lot of coordination, and if someone told me they thought it was easy, I'd make them try.
That is really cool. Definitely takes some technique to do that.
I actually used to spin back in my younger days, but I'm retired now. I can't even begin to tell you how much muscle it takes to do something like that. Good luck to them at their next competition.
No way! I did that back in high school as well. Man, we sure have more things in common than we thought. First the red hair, now this.
Riley, it's like we were destined to be co-hosts. But for the rest of you, it's time for our first commercial break.
And we're back. Next up, Emily takes us over to Stagecoach Antiques over on West Market Street.
Oh, I love that place. It's packed full of stuff that you didn't even know you needed.
I think it's time for us to take a look.
We've been operating now for almost 73 years. My father, Leo, started it approximately 1943 in his mother's dining room. It's grown from a dining room to several different locations along West Market Street. We've been in our current location here at 449 West Market for approximately 35 years. In addition to the things we have usually out on display in the front, we have this floor, we have an upstairs, a downstairs in the main building, and directly behind us is another building with 5 rooms on the first floor. So give yourself a little bit of time. We have a lot of artists that come in and purchase items for collages and different art projects. We have a vast hardware department which helps a lot of people in our neighborhood who are fixing up their old houses to rejuvenate them. In our vast inventory, we carry things from sterling silver to glassware to everyday dishware. We have candlesticks, magazines, books, maps, a whole slew of things, furniture for the starting out apartment or for someone who wants a more upgraded piece of furniture in their home. Sometimes we go out on a call if people are moving or relocating to smaller quarters and purchase some of their items for our inventory, and occasionally we do buy when people come in off the street, but most of the time we go out on calls and appointments. So we have to carry things that not only appeal to our tastes, but appeal to a wide variety of different tastes. For those of you who drive by thousands of times without stopping in, we're always happy to have you come in our treasure trove. It's much larger than it looks from outside. We're open Monday through Saturday from 10 to 5. We do have a website at stagecoachantiques.com, and all of our social media links can be found on the website.
What a cute little place, and the owners are always super nice. Great job, Emily.
Kelly, what's your favorite day of the week?
Is that even a question? Thursdays, duh.
Okay, same. Because you know, it's almost the end of the week, throwback music is playing on WZIP, and it's a day when everybody posts those embarrassing old photos of you.
Yeah. Riley, wait a second. Aren't you forgetting the most important part of Thursdays?
Excuse me, I totally am. The Akron Art Museum has their weekly Throwback Thursdays night, where people can come do crafts from the past.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Davis. I am the visual arts educator and owner of Smart Studio, where I offer art enrichment workshops for all ages. Throwback Thursdays is an idea that Allison had created to bring us back to our creative centers. I think as adults, we kind of lose that. We set ourselves up for failure before we even start, and we tell ourselves, you know, I'm not creative. So Throwback Thursdays is a wonderful way for you to reconnect and maybe do a craft that you haven't done since you were, you know, in grade school or in second grade or at camp. For this Throwback Thursday, we're creating weavings, and we're weaving on cardboard. So each participant has a loom, and they're making color choices and learning to weave patterns on looms that they've created. They're going home with a kit so that they then can explore and extend their learning and create weavings at home.
My name is Allison Kaplan. I'm Director of Education here at the Akron Art Museum. I help to interpret exhibitions and galleries, spaces, and artwork here at the museum by coordinating classes, leading tours, training tour guides, working with students of all ages. Motto here at the museum is to live creative, and it's to help you get back in touch with the creative side of yourself, whether it's through cooking or coloring or painting, but really to think outside of the box in a new way. So we took that idea of coloring within the lines a little bit further, and we've connected our current exhibitions to art activities that people really enjoy doing and connecting with. So we've done friendship bracelets inspired by photographer Andrea Modica. Right now in our classroom, we're actually doing a weaving activity that's inspired by this great exhibition we have up now called Neo Geo, that's about Northeast Ohio artists and abstract art. So all of the work in the show is different media, from sculpture to installation to the weavings by Janice Lessman-Moss that you see behind us. And Janice is kind of our theme artist tonight, and we're doing basic weaving, the kind of weaving that you learned back in elementary school. And it's fun, it helps you meditate, it helps you connect to that creative side, and it's simple. It's not learning how to paint or drawing from life or anything too disarming that people would struggle with. It's really to help people connect to our exhibitions in a new way and to think more creatively.
For those people who maybe not have experienced this or are intimidated by either coming to the museum or enrolling in a class, don't be shy. Don't come and get inspired. This is the greatest way to connect with your creative self. Come to the art museum. It's free on Thursdays, and you can get inspired by just viewing artwork. But with the classes and the programs, you can also then try new skills, try something new. Don't be shy. We're all here and supportive, and we'd love to have you.
What an awesome idea. Now we all finally have a place to bask in the glory that was the late 90s.
Some of the best years of my life. No worries, just fun.
There were friendship bracelets, Lisa Frank was everywhere, we had the cutest boy bands. What a time to be alive.
Dial-up internet, remember those struggles? So thankful for high-speed internet, let me tell you.
I think we need to take a little break to reminisce about the good old days, but stick around because we've got more great stuff coming up. Welcome back to Lowdown. Riley, aren't you up next?
Sure am. Did you happen to watch the Grammys?
See, I really wanted to, but one minute I was opening Netflix to watch Mad Men, and the next thing I knew it was like 2 in the morning, so no.
Hey, we've all been there. But lucky for you, I did a recap of the Grammys, so we'll make sure to catch you up. Let's watch. The 58th Grammy Award show brought some of the best performances to date. I'm here in the studio to recap on some of those moments. So let's talk about Lady Gaga's tribute to David Bowie. Incredible. Lady Gaga has really been stepping up her game recently, and it was amazing to see that performance. Her outfit change was phenomenal, and her voice is just so powerful, and it's been really cool to see a different side of Lady Gaga Singing the national anthem at the Super Bowl, I thought was amazing, and then this, she's truly an amazing artist, and I'm really excited to see where she's gonna end up. The opening performance was done by Taylor Swift, and she sang Into the Woods. No surprise there, as she later ended up winning Album of the Year for her album 1989, which is personally one of my favorites. A big surprise for the Grammys was having Pitbull end the show. Not that Pitbull was a bad performer or anything, he put on an amazing performance and it was awesome, but usually they kind of end the Grammys with more of an iconic artist, and I feel like Pitbull is kind of more in the shadows of some of the artists that we have today. But you know, it was definitely a step in a different direction, not necessarily a bad direction, but it was definitely bringing something different to the table. Again, awesome performance. But yeah, I'm curious to see where he goes next with his music. One of the most talked about moments from the Grammys was Adele's performance. Her mic had dropped into the piano, and so you could hear the strumming of the strings over the speaker, and you can tell that Adele was very distraught. People everywhere were tweeting about it, and Adele had made a comment that she cried the whole next day after her performance because she was so upset. Thank you so much for joining me today in the studio for a recap of the 2016 Grammys. We had an amazing year for music, and I'm very excited to see what the next year brings us.
Poor Adele. I felt like I could feel her pain when that mic fell.
I felt so bad for her. She's my favorite singer, so I just wanted to fix it, but I couldn't. I also made sure to tweet about it because I gotta support my girl.
Well, sure. I mean, I'm sure she needed your support, Riley. You're like her biggest fan. It's kind of scary.
I wanted to make you feel my love for Adele. But
I feel like you were just waiting for an opportunity to say that. Anyway, let's check in with Shannon, who took a trip to a local ceramic gallery.
I'm Valerie Grossman. I run Brick Ceramic and Design Studio, and I'm the founder and director here. We, at Brick, we are a cooperative ceramic studio and gallery, and we have open studio hours 3 times a week where we're open to the public and people can come in and work on their projects. We also have a gallery space, and we have gallery openings every first Friday of the month from 6 to 10 p.m. And we've got classes, and we do a whole bunch of stuff here at Brick. Ceramics is a whole process. It usually takes about 3 weeks to finish something from start to finish. You start with wet clay. You then would form your object, whether it's throwing something and then trimming the bottom and then waiting for it to dry about a week. We then put it through its first firing, which is a bisque firing. And then after that, it comes out of the bisque, and you would glaze it and then throw it back into the kiln for a glaze firing. And then after that, it would come out and be finished. But that whole process takes about 3 weeks' time. My inspiration for my personal artwork comes a lot from seeing everyone work really hard around me. I come from sort of a working family. I've worked for a long time, and being influenced by that, I think that it's important for you to find happiness and sort of treat yourself and give yourself a little bit of a break. So a lot of my personal artwork is about indulging in those things that make you happy, even if it's something that's not healthy to eat or not, you know, maybe not the best thing, but in moderation. Those things are really cool. So I've been sort of celebrating that in my personal artwork. And then for Brick's functional line, we're really sort of still narrowing down what we are focusing on. But a lot of our stuff is functional, handmade, wheel thrown, you know, handmade from start to finish with clean lines and glazes out of the Cone 10 gas kiln. So everything's dishwasher safe and really durable, and that's sort of the direction that we've been going. Just to have your work visually out there, I think is really important for people to want to work with you these days. So that's my biggest advice to working artists.
Whoa, I love her lavender hair, and that seems like a super legit place. I'm gonna go there sometime for sure.
Oh, definitely. If I knew how to do ceramics, I would never buy another plate again. I would just make everything in my house.
That sounds like a great idea, but maybe we should start after the show.
All right, fine.
Now we're gonna check out Taylor's paintings.
Hi, my name is Taylor Volmer and I'm a painter. I've always been like artistically like inclined ever since I was a kid. I've always been like drawing or like just painting rocks outside, like anything, but I didn't really get into painting until I went to Akron. I think I was a sophomore or a freshman and I took a painting class and they really like explained the technicalities of it and all that and the process, and I just really fell in love. And I just thought that that's a hobby or a lifestyle I wanted to keep in my life forever. When I start to paint, I like to paint, I have to be feeling something. I have to be feeling either like really happy or like really sad or just like strange or just some type of emotion that I like to really pinpoint, and then I'll explore that. And I'll explore that by like listening to music that really correlates with that emotion. A lot of times it'll be the same song on repeat for like an hour, and then obviously I'll like prep my brushes and pour my oils and make sure all my canvases are ready and my brushes are ready, and then I just go for it. I love to paint with oils. Like when I was younger, I'd paint with like acrylics and like, you know, cheap Crayola paints that you just find, whatever. But when I took the painting class at Akron, it was specifically with oils, and I loved how fluid it was, and just the difference in color and the difference in like richness and texture, and it was just totally different. So I've always liked oil, and I think I'm probably gonna stick with oil. And then for subject matter, I like things that make people stare. Like even if it's gross, it's like, oh, that's so gross, but that's so pretty, I can't look away. So like, or that's so intense, I just can't look away. Like I want that kind of reaction. So that's like the subject matter. I try to, like whatever subject I can make out of that. With work and school now, it's difficult. Usually when there's breaks, I try to paint like every other day or every day if I can. Usually now it's just restricted to weekends or like if I have a day off. So like maybe 2 times a week, maybe, which is sad for me because I wish it could be every day, all the time. So yeah. My favorite part is like when you, like the layering, and the first layer always looks like crap, and the second layer looks like crap, and the third layer you're like, I shouldn't paint anymore, obviously, but you watch it grow and you're patient and you just keep working with it, and that's like my favorite part is when you're like, you doubt it, but then you realize what it is and it becomes something, and you show people and they're like, wow, this is amazing, this is so good, and you're like, thanks, it used to suck. But just like my favorite part is like when it comes full circle.
That was so neat.
I am very inspired. I think I want to paint now. Anyone in the studio have a paintbrush? Wow, thanks.
Okay, so Riley's gonna go paint. I'm gonna go start on my ceramic house, which means this is the end of this episode of Lowdown.
Make sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at ZTV Lowdown.
Swing!
This program was produced by ZTV at the University of Akron. To find out how you can make Emmy-winning media, visit the UA School of Communication online. ZTV. Make media. Make a difference.